Hi everyone. Once again, we're going to be looking at another topic, which is what mixed operation. We have here some guides that will lead us through on how to do some calculations when we are given some problem to solve in mathematics. So these are the little guide rules that we have here before we go ahead and solve some problems. So we have here this is bracket. So for anything, these are the orders that we have to follow. These are some rules that we have to follow whenever we are given any problem in mathematics to solve. So this is brackets and this is denoted as this. This is order, that is the arrangement. This is division. With this is the sign for division, multiplication, addition, and subtraction. So that implies that for any problem to be solved, we have to remove the bracket first. After that, then we can divide. After division, then we can multiply. After multiplication, we can then add. Then after addition, then we can now subtract. So with that, it also means this is either parentheses, exponential, multiplication, division, addition, then with subtract. So the other way we want it, or any which way we want to go ahead, then by the time we are to solve any given problem, we have to follow these rules. And this will take us to the next activities that we have here. We have an example here. We have to solve this. We have to solve 2 plus x multiplied by 2, though it's an activities for us to do, but we are going to be expressing how we are going to be solving the problem. So let's go ahead and let's show us how we are going to solve the problem. But this type of problem, we have two way around it. The first way is removing the brackets, and we try as much as possible to multiply before we add, then we subtract. So let's follow through and let's see. If you have to We have 2 plus 8 times 2 minus 4. So 2 plus 8 times 2 is what? 8 times 2 will give us 16. Then we have minus 4. So we have minus 4, right? Now 2 plus 16 is what? That is 18. So 18 minus 4. What is 18 minus 4? I believe that should be 14. Now let's look at the other way around. What if you have 2 plus 8 in bracket, then we multiply it by 2, then we have minus 4. So 2 plus 8, that is what? That will give us 10. By the time we multiply by 2, let's multiply by 2, then before we subtract from 4. So 10 times 2, that is what? That should be 20 minus 4. So we have 20 minus 4. Now 20 minus 4 will give us what? 16. So for this type of question, we can have two solutions. The first solution here is what? The first solution is 14, and the second solution that we can have is 16. So with that, let's drag in 8 times 4. 8 times 2 rather is what? Is 16. So we have 16. Okay, so if you have 16, right? So 16, 2 plus 16, that is what? That is 18. So we have 18 here. So 18 minus 4. 18 minus 4 will give us what? Will give us 14. So based on our earlier explained solution. Now, if you look at the another way around, we have 2 plus 8, that is 10. Okay, we have 10. So let's have our 10 here. 10. Let's have our 10 here. Okay. So if you have our 10, 10 times 2 is what? 20. 20. Okay. 20 minus 4. That should give us what? 16. So we have two way around this type of solution. So we have the first solution when we have it in brackets, and we have the other one when we don't have it in bracket. Now, let's look at these activities. Based on the previous explanation, I've told us that okay, B will be what? That is bracket. So let's see, B is bracket, which is true. What's the full meaning of O? I believe based on the previous illustration on that first slide, O means order. Order. So let's have it there. D will be what? That will be division. D is division. Okay. M is what? M will stand for what? Multiplication. Multiplication. And A will stand for what? A will stand for addition. So that is addition. And X we stand for what? Subtraction. That's subtraction. So let's check that we are right. The arrangement is good. So now we are looking at what? Equivalent fraction. We have actually introduced it before in decimal point. So when you're talking about equivalent fraction, it's type of fractions that has what? A common multiple. It has a common multiple with the numerator and the denominator. Now let's look at this example here. If you look at this shape is divided into two. So the unshaded part, that is 1/2. This shape is divided into 4, and we have two shaded parts. So that give us what? 2/4. And this shape here is divided into 8, and we have 4 shaded parts, which give us what? 4/8. If you look at this, there's a common multiple here. We have 1/2. 1/2 can actually go in this as well. 1 can go in 2, that's 1 times, then 2 in 4, that is 2 times. So we have a common multiple of 1/2. If you look at this as well, 1/2 can also go in 1/4. So for this type of illustration, this is an example of what? This is an example here that we have for equivalent fraction. So that takes us to this next calculation that we have here. We're going to be calculating this 12 divided by 20, then 6/10. What is going to be our answer? What's going to be our answer? By the time we do that, what's going to be our answer? Okay, so let's solve. We have 12/20. 2 is common to both of them, so we divide through by 2. So let's divide this one by 2. We divide this one by 2. 2 can go in 12 how many times? That is 6, right? 2 can go in 10. In 20 how many times? That is 10. So we can have our final answer here to be what? 6/10. Now let's look at the second one, which is 6/10. 6/10. Now we divide through as well by what? The common multiple here. 2 can go in 6, 2 can go in 10. So we divide both of them by 2. So we divide it by 2. So 2 in 6. 2 in 6, that is 3. And 2 can go in 10. How many times? That is 5. So 12 divided by 20 rather, will give us 6/10. Why 12 divided by 20 will give us 6/10. Why 6 divided by 10 will actually give us 3/5. So that will lead us to get the solution for this equation from here. So we can actually solve for the solution now. Let's check for this one. Now we have what? For this one we have 6/10. Based on our calculation, we have 6/10, and 6/10 divided by 2/2 will give us what? 3/5. Yes, so that leads us to the next example. Here we have to reduce 36/60 to its lowest term, that is to the term that which no value can actually go in the numerator and denominator at the same time. So we won't have any other figure that is common that can go in the two of them at the same time. Okay, so let's solve this together. Let's solve. We have 36 over what? Over 60. If we look at it, 6 can go here and 6 can go here at the same time. So let's divide both of them by 6/6. Now, 6 in 36, that should give us 6 in 36 is what? 6, right? 6 can go in 36 in 6 places, and 6 can go in 60 in how many places? That is 10 places. So if you look at this fraction, there's still a common term that can go in both of them. 2 can go in 6, 2 can go in 10. So let's divide this again by 2. So let's divide by 2. We have divided by 2/2. Now 2 can go in 6 how many times? That is 3. And 2 can go in 10 how many times? That is 5. So if you look at this fraction, there is nothing again that can go in both of them. So we can say that the lowest term of 36/60 is what? 3/5. That is the lowest time. So with this, we are to pick the correct answers to fill in the boxes that we have there. So this leads us to addition and subtraction of fraction with the same denominator. So if you look at this, we have the same denominator but different numerator. So we add up and pick the denominator since they are common. So 1 plus 2 will give us 3, and since we have a common denominator, we pick 1 or then. So now if that is it, let's look at how it goes. So this is an illustration here. Look at this one as well. This is subtraction. This is 3 over 4 minus 2 over 4. We still have a common denominator, so we pick the denominator to be 4. Now 3 minus 2, that is what? That is 1. So our answer is what? 1 over 4. Now let's look at this. When we have different denominator, what happens? If you look at it, this is 3, and if you look at it, this is 4. So what we do here is that we find the lowest common multiples of this denominator. So if we find the lowest common multiples of 3, the first one is 3. That is 3 times 1 is 3. 3 times 2 is what? 6. 3 times 3 is 9. And 3 times 4 is 12. Now for this as well, we can continue if we didn't get the accurate answer. But if you look at this illustration here, we already have the common multiples for 4 and 3. So if you look at this one, the multiple here as well is 4. So we can pick 12 since we have a common multiple. So that's the first test. Now upon getting the first step, which is for us to find the lowest common multiples, then we go ahead and multiply through. If you look at this one, when we go to the fourth term, we have 12. So you multiply this one by 4, and when we get to the third term, we have 4. So we multiply this one by 3. So 2 times 4 is what? 8, and 3 times 4 is what? 12. 3 times 3 will give us 9, then 4 times 3 will give us 12. So if you look at it now, we have a common denominator. So what we just need to do here is we pick the denominator and add up the numerator. So by the time we add up, let's see what happens. So by the time we add up, let's see what happens. So if you add it up, we are going to be having what? 17 over 12. That is 8 plus 9, which give what? 17 over 12. And that is our answer. So we have an example again here on mixed fraction. Why are we talking about mixed fraction? Remember, we've made mention of mixed fraction when you have a whole number and a proper fraction. So what we do here is we multiply the denominator with the whole number and add to the numerator. So 12 times 1 plus 1 we give 13. 8 times 2 plus 1 we give 17. Now the next thing here is for us to do what? We have to find the lowest common multiple as we did there. So we look for the lowest common multiple of 12 and lowest common multiple of 8. So if you do that, then we have this. 12 times 1 is 12. 12 times 2 is 24. 12 times 3 36. So that's how we got this. 8 times 1, 8 times 2, 8 times 3. So if you look at it, we have a common multiple now, which is what? 34. So all we just need to do is now pick this, multiply by 2, multiply by 2, we multiply 17 by 2, multiply 8 as well by 2. So if you do that, what do we have? So we have 64 over 24, we have 51 over 24. So now if you look at it, we have a common multiple. So with that, we can add the numerator. So we have 26 plus 51, then over 24, because we already have a common denominator. So by the time we add up, that is 77 over 24, and that gives the solution to the problem. Now let's look at an activities to round up this class. Look at what is an example of this type of fraction. 1 over 4 is an example of what? I believe is an example of a proper fraction because the numerator is smaller than the denominator. Then 9 over 4 is an example of an improper fraction because the numerator is bigger than the denominator. Then 4 whole number 3 over 4 is an example of a mixed fraction because it contains a whole number and a proper fraction. So let's check. We have it. Now, when we are solving improper and mixed fraction, what are we going to look for? We are looking for what? The lowest common multiple. So yes, and I think we are right. So this takes us to the end of the class. We want you to subscribe to our channel for full interactive book of this content, and our channel is www.edubbey.com. Thanks for listening.